so people hear about vegan as a means of getting healthy, but of course they have these new products, like even the new Apro milks and stuff like that, with the emulsifiers that are inside them, that, you're kind of losing the benefit, because it's not just you, there's 2% almonds in one of these nut milks.
But that is a personal choice. If you don't care about your health, that's your personal choice. I don't care. If you want to eat shit, you can eat shit as long as it's vegan. Your health, I care about my health and I look at what I eat as well. But if you don't want to do that, that's fine by me, as long as it's vegan.
Yeah.
I care more about animals.
Yeah, but I came from a health point of view.
No, that's why the reason we do it is, you can have any reason for
Yeah, that's what's amazing.
And,
these are from Costa Rica.
Costa Rica.
Isn't it the one that we bought?
Yeah. The UK's always had an historic sort of banana deal, I think it was one of the EU battles, wasn't it? That they had to get all their bananas from a place, whereas our old slave routes.
Yeah.
And then we had bananas.
In Chile, the only fruit that we import is our bananas.
You import?
Yeah, and pineapples. Everything else is grown in the country.
You don't have bananas?
We have bananas and pineapples, but that's the only fruit that we actually import. Everything else is grown locally, which is how it's great. Yeah.
Today's the day we are embarking on our second event for the world tour. The first event was in Chiang Mai, Thailand. It's been how many days now since the UK vegan campout? 3, 4, 2. Time flies.
It felt like a long time.
It was Sunday, so Monday, Tuesday. 1.5.
So it ended on Tuesday and now it ended on Sunday, now it's Tuesday. Today's a big event. We've got Joey Carbstrong, James Aspey, Henge Herbivore, Banana Warrior Princess. We've got Karina here, the Cambridge organizer, Sophia.
This train is for Norwich.
Doug, first keeper truth. So it's going to be a good day. Oh, look at all the ducks and the cows. Wow.
More cows.
More cows drinking right out of the... So,
This is beautiful.
I can't get over how beautiful it is here in the UK. Everyone's like, really? But yeah, really.
You need to go north to see the mountains. Yeah, this is like the flatland.
Yeah. So today's going to be a big day. I'm going to get as much footage as possible. Hopefully some good public interactions. See you there.
Yeah. And also very
Norwich.
How did you feel about that though, man?
So it's UK and it's 2016, so it's all recent, it's all local. Ronan Matthews is in Norfolk.
Yeah, I know about Ronan Matthews ones. Really? That's a big thing.
I've been to the factory as well.
I stopped eating their products after I found that. That's disgusting.
Well, you're vegan?
No, I'm not vegan, no. I believe like in tuning animals the right way. Yeah, I know it's not the right way.
Have you seen this footage before?
Yeah.
This is all UK footage. I'm from Australia, but the practices are exactly the same.
It's the same thing. Yeah.
Same thing in Australia, yeah. And this is all 2016, so it's all recent footage of what happens in animal agriculture for meat, dairy, and egg production. Have you ever seen this kind of footage? Or
sometimes I see a few things in YouTube or Facebook.
On social media. And how do you feel about it, man?
Maybe it's different kind of life of that's animal for me. They are really cool. View how they exactly what we eat now. It's different kind of chicken that we get from shops, from where they fed. Really, I'm not sure how that is work.
Well, the thing is, even in the best case scenario where the animals are treated nicely
Yeah.
on a, say, a organic farm or free range,
Yeah,
those animals are still murdered within 3 or 4 years of being alive,
yeah,
when their natural life expectancy is usually 20 or 25 years.
yeah,
And they're sent to slaughterhouses where they're murdered in the same exact slaughterhouses as the factory farmed animals are.
yeah, absolutely.
Right? So the same conditions apply. And these animals are killed against their will, of course. They want to live, right?
Yeah,
So you're still being cruel to animals when you murder them if they want to live. You're taking their lives away from them. And we don't even need to eat animal products. Do you agree with that? Or do you think that we need to eat animal products for health?
it was really a big decision, to be honest. And that's, you know, since we've been in this life, we eat kind of animal is everywhere.
We've been doing it for a long time, but just because we've been doing something for a long time, it doesn't mean that it's okay. We've also been murdering other humans for a long time. Wars have been happening for a long time. But what I'm asking you is, do you think that you physically need to eat animals in order to survive and thrive?
Can't say, to be honest.
What do you think?
Okay, if I tell you, because different. Okay, I'm actually I'm not English, or I'm not. You know, I'm Muslim,
Yes?
and I am from North Africa.
Yes?
But it depends how you kill the animal for us.
Okay.
Because if you are killer, like in my culture, if you kill animal, name of that.
I understand Muslim culture very well.
Yeah.
Myself, I'm Lebanese.
You live in
Yeah,
Lebanese.
I'm Lebanese. If God wanted peace, He would prefer for us to not kill the animals.
Yeah, we do one every each year. You Lebanese and you know the culture.
Yeah, I do.
And we kill the animal every celebration.
Yeah, I understand.
So anything for me, if you skill the name of Allah, it become alright for me. So
But do you understand you're committing an act of
Yes,
violence
yeah.
in the name of God?
yeah.
Okay, God is about peace, not violence.
No violence. No.
Okay, do you understand how there's
Yes.
a contradiction there?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Not really as horrible way. No.
Do you think, well, even in a nice way, would you like to die if someone wants to kill you in a nice way? Wouldn't you like to live instead?
No. I know. Life is difficult. If you example, an animal that you have to be alive, every each animal.
Yes?
Yeah.
Yep.
But we have just one thing. I can't say to you, some people maybe they are vegetarian, they're not eating animals.
Yeah, we're vegan.
Vegan.
We're all
Yeah,
vegan.
vegans. And some people they eat both. They eat vegetarian and meat and everything.
Yeah.
Maybe you're right, as you are vegan, you will not eat animals. And some other people, at the same time, maybe they are a little bit right because they eat animals at the same time.
A little bit, right? What does that mean?
Yeah,
Because it's either evil or it's not evil. You can't have it both ways.
really it's difficult for me.
Maybe because you currently eat animals.
I
maybe that's
eat.
why it's difficult.
Yeah,
and
it's difficult.
I understand because I used to eat animals as well.
Yeah.
Okay, believe me.
Yeah.
Lamb, chicken was like on every dish.
Yeah.
Okay, so I totally understand where you're coming from.
I eat lamb.
Of course. I understand where you're coming from, brother. But what I'm trying to explain to you is when you kill an animal
Yeah.
and they value their lives, which means they want to live just as much as you want to live.
It's the same as
Exactly.
as things. Yeah.
Exactly the same as you, then I would say the more peaceful option, of course, is to not kill them, right? When you have a
Yeah.
knife in your hand and you have to decide whether you stab the animal in the throat or you put the knife away, I think God would prefer that we put the knife away. We don't kill because we don't need to.
Yeah.
We're not in a survival. Look at this. Right here we have all the fruits and vegetables we need. We don't need to eat animals. And you know, there's a vegan diner just there. You see that? It says vegan diner. BIA.
Yeah. So like for me, example, like
Yeah.
for me, yeah. Okay, you are Lebanese and you have maybe you know a lot. As
No, because I used to think the same thing that
Yeah.
you're thinking about how God says it's okay.
yeah. But like for celebration, every year we have celebration.
Yeah.
If you like this, like for me, it's hard because we have the celebration. It's in my culture and in my religion example. So we have the celebration that's that. But if you are eating like meat of the lamb, I'm not doing my right way.
That's not true. No religion, even Islam, does not mandate meat eating.
Yeah, we have to eat the animal for celebration, but in the name of God.
No, you don't have to. I know many Muslims that are vegan. Many.
I can't say that if it's many
There's
because
many, trust me. Because they understand peace means not killing. It's really that simple. If you don't want violence, you don't kill.
yes, we
And animals are just like us.
absolutely.
They're not here for us. They're here on their own terms.
It's nice, really. I do understand you, and I do understand how you feel about that.
Yeah. But you disagree, or
I can say yes. I can say yes. Yeah. Why not? The life being each animal they have to be alive.
so if you could live a life without harming animals and you could still be healthy and happy, why wouldn't you? If you could be healthy and happy
Yeah.
and you don't have to kill any animals,
Yeah. Why not?
why not, right?
Why not?
It's better, isn't it? It's a better option. Because we're all vegans, we're all healthy. I'm the healthiest I've ever been in my life. And I still eat burgers and pizzas and pastas. I still eat everything that you eat.
Yeah, but it's vegetable one.
But instead of the meatball, we have a vegetable meatball or tofu, or we have, instead in the burgers, we have lentil patties or black bean patties or mushrooms instead of someone's dead body.
Yeah, like chicken or
Yeah.
beef.
Instead of eating the dead bodies of innocent animals who did nothing to you, these animals did nothing to harm you.
Of course.
So why do we harm them in return? Even if it's in the name of religion or tradition or culture, those reasons don't justify murdering someone who wants to live. It might be a celebration to us in culture, but what about the animal? They're not celebrating. They're living in fear and terror because they're having their necks slit. Do you understand?
I do understand you.
It's better to just have a veggie burger. No one gets killed in that scenario. Do you agree?
I do. I do agree. Yeah, I do agree.
So what would you think would stop you from becoming vegan then? I know that you have currently, up until this point, you've been eating this way.
Yeah.
So it's a habit and it's culture and it's tradition
Yes.
and it's convenience.
Yeah.
I understand that. But do you think that you'd be willing to look more into this? To take this seriously?
If for me, to be honest, I look a lot in the internet and
You
I
do your research?
Yes. If you just really should. I will be honest with you.
God, let me tell you though, in Islam, God does not mandate. Do you know what mandate means?
His mandate, he sent the animal. How will the animal come down for Ibrahim?
No, but what I'm saying to
You
you,
want to kill his son.
but let me just explain something to you. He doesn't necessarily need you to kill the animal in order for you to be a good Muslim. You can be a vegan and a Muslim, and God will not
it
banish
can
you
be.
from Islam. He will.
No.
He's going to
Yeah.
accept you still. Do you understand?
But we need to accept that we have to celebration every year.
But where's the celebration for the animal? They're not celebrating. They're having their necks slit.
That's how we now.
understand how that's very violent?
500 years ago or more.
Even if we've been doing it for a billion years, just because we've been doing something for a long time doesn't make it right, does it?
Do you-
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
that it's something for you to look into. But do you think
Yeah,
after
to
we've
look
had
in
this
it,
discussion,
I need to research a lot
yes,
about it.
so you will research it?
Yeah, of
Okay,
course,
good.
indeed.
So that's the website which has all of the information
Yeah.
for documentaries, things you can watch on YouTube.
But make sure I will be researching both ways.
You can research both ways. Look up in the Quran. The Quran actually doesn't mandate meat eating or animal eating.
Yeah, we
You
are
don't
not
have to eat
allowed
animals
only
to be a
one
good Muslim.
animal will not eat it. Only the pork.
Why don't
That's
you
the
eat
only
dogs then?
animal.
Do you eat dogs?
No.
Why not?
No.
Why not?
But what the mention is, we are not allowed only to eat pork.
But what about dogs? How come you don't eat dogs? Because you've been conditioned to think that pigs and
Some
chickens.
people
and-
maybe they eat. In China, if you go to China, they cook it.
But you wouldn't do it. How come you? How come you? How
I'm
come you won't do it?
I'm not really. I'm not do that.
Yeah.
I have a few things I eat. Yeah. What? Like we said, like what's halal?
Yep.
That's what I eat.
I
Even am
understand.
everywhere.
I
I've been in every lot of countries.
Yeah.
But I do what's the right thing for me. But if you just want to make me to decide, I will not eat.
Yeah.
I will not eat.
Just so you know, I'm glad that you will do your research.
Yeah, of
but
course,
it is.
that's what I'm doing.
Okay. It does come down to this very simple fact, though.
Yeah.
In any scenario, in any situation where you have to choose between violence and non-violence, the more peaceful option is to choose non-violence.
Yeah.
When you kill an animal, even for celebration or tradition or culture, it's violent. And you can justify it by saying God says it's okay, but at the very least you know that God is not going to get angry at you for choosing not to kill them.
Yeah.
Do you understand that?
Yeah.
God is still going to accept you if you're vegan and you don't kill animals at all.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. So there you
we
go.
are human
And
beings.
like I said,
They
if you
are-
can live a life where you're healthy and happy
Yeah.
and you don't have to harm animals,
Yeah.
why wouldn't you? Good talking to you.
Nice to talk to you today.
Do some research. I think you'll
Yeah, that's absolutely right.
you'll find that
Yeah.
you'll learn some things that you may not have realized. But thanks for stopping by.
You're very welcome.
All right, nice to meet you, brother. Take care, okay?
And not having to.
Can I have a quick word, young man?
Yeah, sure.
Is it all right? So the guy with the fruit stall's a bit upset. He reckons that we're blocking the thoroughfare. He said a lot of his trade comes from there. I've got a good relationship with him. He's a nice guy. And I'm thinking, rather than upsetting the fruit and vegetable, why don't we move this way a little bit and block the...
Hey.
That makes more sense, doesn't it?
It does, doesn't it?
Good
All
job.
right. Sounds good. Hi there.
Hello.
Okay, have you ever seen footage like this before?
I have actually. My dad is a meat inspector in slaughterhouses.
Really?
Yeah. So I've seen quite a lot of it. So that's why I find it quite interesting because he's had a real issue with a lot of people storing not the way that it should be stored and not in humane ways. So
And so with humane, do you mean to... Because the word humane means to show compassion.
yeah.
And so do you think by killing someone who wants to live...
No, I don't think that's very. I mean, in a perfect world, everyone would be vegetarian
Or vegan?
Yeah.
Well, we're all vegan. That's exactly
Yeah.
what we're here for, to spread the message. It's quite easy to be vegan, and
Yeah.
many people don't really understand how easy and how
No.
delicious and how affordable it
I
is.
know, and they just think it's just vegetables and that's all you can eat. But there's so much other stuff like you can do with it. And
I haven't eaten a salad in so long.
no.
I've been vegan 6 years. I ate burgers, I ate pizzas,
Yeah.
I ate pastas, I ate cakes, cookies, ice creams, everything you currently eat.
Yeah, and you can make cheeses out of like so
Cashews.
many, yeah, and so many different things that people wouldn't even know that you can do.
So have you looked into this?
I
It sounds like you have.
Yeah, because it's very, with my dad, although he's not vegan or vegetarian, he keeps animals to keep them, not to slaughter them as well. So it's very important to him that ones that are slaughtered, which he can't do anything about, are killed humanely. So that's why I went into what the job that he does.
You see, the thing is, like,
So-
I used to think that there was a humane way, like when I first started to look into
Yeah.
this stuff. So I used to go to farmers markets and I used to buy local and
Yeah.
direct. And the thing is, in the dairy industry, for example, the male calves are always killed within weeks.
Yeah, it's awful.
They're murdered because they don't actually produce any milk. That's standard practice in the free-range egg dairy industry. In the egg industry, they murder the male chicks within days because they don't lay any eggs,
No.
and they throw them through a grinder And this is the most humane method.
Yeah.
Now the most humane method for murdering pigs is putting them in a gas chamber.
This is what I mean.
And then I don't know, I mean, even if we're looking at the most humane methods that are supposed to be stuck to by these industries, if you look at them, they're so horrific. You wouldn't wish them on your worst enemy.
I once saw a sketch, I don't know who the cartoonist was now, but it was like humans being the animals, and if we had done to us what
that was really powerful, that sketch. I did see that.
I saw it not too long ago. And I was like, oh my
See, that's what it comes down to, not this humane stuff. It's when you're talking about humane, the question is, would you want it done to yourself?
Yeah.
And if the answer is no, then it's never humane. And that's the golden rule for all forms of morality, isn't it? The golden rule is to do unto others as you would have do unto yourself. So if you could live a life healthy and happy, and you didn't have to harm animals in the process, why wouldn't you?
I know. I tried, actually I'm really bad, I tried vegetarian, and I'm so bad I gave in to beef. It's really bad, I know, I shouldn't I should.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I ate meat, dairy and eggs for 26 years, so I completely understand where you're coming from with regards to your conditioning.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, just because we've been doing something for a long time, it doesn't mean it makes it okay.
No.
We have been conditioned by society's lies and faculties of education and government and of course these industries, the way they market. So we're very much sort of been programmed by all of this stuff. So vegans don't think that non-vegans are bad people.
No.
We understand because we used to be in that same position. But we do have an obligation to be kind to animals because you're against animal cruelty, I'm assuming, right? And you couldn't kill animals yourself, I'm assuming, right?
So I know what you mean, and then it's like weird to think someone else can do it for me so I can eat my nice dinner at night.
Don't you think that's cowardly?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
And to get someone else to do your dirty work? And it also, a lot of people think they're not responsible in that scenario because someone else is handling it.
Oh, as long as you're still buying it, you've still got responsibility.
Yeah, because in the same way, if let's say you put a hit out on someone, you hire a hitman to kill someone for you, you're responsible for that. It's the same thing with animal agriculture.
Yeah.
You're paying the slaughterman, you're paying, and then just so you can eat their flesh. Do you also know about the health implications of eating animal products?
I don't know.
Okay. There's a great documentary called What the Health that's just come out, and it shows you the latest and greatest nutritional science on how harmful animal products are. So flesh, breast milk from the cows, which is not intended for us, it's intended for baby cows. Your babies, obviously, you're the mother, that's the only milk that they should ever consume. And then past infancy, we shouldn't be consuming any more breast milk. We don't need to, we wean off that. Okay, so that's just normal, and every other animal operates the same in nature, but we've grown this addiction to breast milk from a cow. So breast milk is actually one of the worst things that you can consume in terms of health from a cow. And people would be disgusted by the idea of consuming breast milk from a human, and that's our own species.
Funny enough, I said to my husband the other day, because he's 8 weeks old, and I said to my husband, do you want to try some of my breast milk? And he laughed, and I said, but you're drinking it from a cow.
Yeah.
And he was like, and I was like, no, that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
I was like, you put that in your tea, and you won't have...
Well, and when we look at cows, we think, I want to drink your breast milk. No, these companies have marketed it to us, and we have conditioned our minds into thinking that it's normal and that it's natural. And perhaps even necessary for protein and calcium they like to promote. It doesn't prevent osteoporosis, it causes it. And you'll know this once you watch What the Health.
Right, okay.
Right?
I'm gonna have a little. So
And
like
then-
on YouTube, I can find out.
I can give you a card which has all of this stuff.
Yeah.
On our website, it has all of these documentaries that you can watch. And so you can make an informed choice on what you'd like to do. Whether you'd like to continue what you're doing at the moment, or whether you can see veganism as a new way of living where you can seek to avoid animal exploitation, but also add years to your life, add more of a quality of life as well, because you're not dealing with so many chronic illnesses. Heart disease is the biggest killer among our species. Heart disease is the main cause is cholesterol. Okay, the only place you can find cholesterol is animal products. You can't find them in any plants.
So you cut that out.
On top of all of that, so you know that killing animals can't be justified.
No.
We don't need to do it. I'm living proof. We're living proof. we're living healthy and happy lives.
Yeah.
And we're standing up for animals today just to get the message out to others like yourself.
They can't speak for themselves. Can
That's
they?
why
So,
the voiceless, right?
Yeah. So anyway.
Yeah, that's why we, in this society, they don't have a voice, especially not one that's heard. That's why we refer to them as voiceless. So you know that part is not ever going to be justified. It can't be.
No.
It's not normal, it's not natural, and it's not necessary. You know that now there's maybe some information that you can look into regarding the health,
Yeah.
right? And how much it can benefit you personally from making this choice. And your children, and your family, those you influence around you. And then there's the environmental impact. So if you want a future for your kids and your kids' kids, you need to be somewhat of an environmentalist, because we need a world to live in so that we can continue as a species. So if you watch the documentary Cowspiracy, which is also on our website in the must-see section,
Yeah.
that and What the Health, those two documentaries will rock your world. The leading cause of environmental destruction is animal agriculture. It's not transport and it's not plastics. Animal agriculture trumps both of those industries combined with regards to how much damage it causes to the rainforest, to the waterways, to the soil. Basically, animal agriculture is killing our planet, not just the animals.
Yeah.
And the animals are being killed at such a rate that it would boggle your mind. Nearly 3 trillion animals a year, and there's only 7 billion of us. 3 trillion. There's 1,000 billion in 1 trillion.
Can't comprehend that really.
You can't even wrap your head around it. And this is for products that make us sick. They don't even give us health in the way that we... Hello. Hello. I'm just having a chat with your mother. Hello. So look, I appreciate you stopping and chatting. I've given you a lot of information. I'm obviously very passionate. I just want to make sure that you can see that this is something that's viable.
Yeah.
And one last thing I'll leave you with. There's a website on our website called Happy Cow. It's in the resources section.
Okay.
And that lets you know wherever you are in the world, where the local restaurants and stores are that sell vegan food.
Oh, that's really handy, because when I tried to be a vegetarian, that sounds awful, I know. I literally only knew the Rainbow shop there, and that was like, I didn't know anywhere. So that'd be handy.
I mean, recipes as well, so that you can cook at home and have delicious food.
Yeah.
Okay, because this isn't a world of restriction or limitation. I've actually experienced better food than I ever have in my life.
Yeah.
Because it's a world of abundance. It's like 20,000.
So it forces you to try other things, which is quite, I know that's not the idea of it, but you can find things.
You get more creative.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you realize that things are way more. I mean, think about it. All meat is actually prepared and is flavored with plants.
Yeah.
Marinade, sauces, breads, when we bread the chicken breast. All of these stuff's made out of plants, spices.
Yeah, so just take meat out of the equation. And then
The reason why is because we actually despise the true taste of flesh. When you walk past a butcher, that smell is not very inviting, is it?
No.
Because we're not meat eaters, right? A lion would salivate. When we walk past a pet store, why don't we salivate?
Yeah.
Right? Why don't when we see an animal, why don't we pounce on them and rip them apart and eat them raw? Because it disgusts us. So plants is where it's at. That's where all the delicious food's at. So this is what non-vegans are missing out on and don't realize. Vegetarian isn't enough, by the way, because you're still consuming dairy and eggs when you're vegetarian. And you might also support leather and other things that contribute to animal exploitation and cruelty. Vegan is doing the best that we can.
Yeah.
It's not about being perfect.
No.
Because I probably killed a bug as I walked over to speak with you today. But those things can't be avoided, But at least you can avoid meat, dairy, eggs, and honey, and leather products, and going to the zoo, which is just a prison for animals. Instead, you can go to a museum. There's like 1,000 other things that you can do. So, anyway, I'll leave you with that. But thanks so much for chatting.
No, that's fine. Thank you.
And there's a 22-day program on there as well.
Oh, right.
So after you've done your research, if you want to jump into it, which I highly recommend, the 22-day program in the free support section will help you to transition for 22 days of full support.
Yeah.
So we'll appoint a experienced vegan to you, and they'll work with you one-on-one. So any question you have, whether it's about nutrition, recipes, anything you're challenged with, they'll support you 100%. And it's all free.
It's amazing.
Take care. See ya. Hi there.
Hello.
Hello. Have you ever seen footage like this before?
No, not really.
This is all here in the UK, and it's recent footage of what happens in the meat, dairy, and egg industries as standard practice.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I thought it was maybe something to do with cruelty.
Yeah. And a lot of these facilities are RSPCA approved.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So you know how you see those products that have the humane stamp on them?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you tend to gravitate towards those products, or
We get free-range eggs, but that's probably...
that's it? Or
Yeah,
Yep.
so, yeah.
and do you prefer the free-range eggs because you see it as less cruelty
Yeah, and they taste nice.
and they taste nicer?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Cool. Okay.
And
So
my husband actually gets them from a farm, so, yeah.
he does.
Yeah, like a farmer he knows, so...
The thing about the free-range industry is that even in the egg industry, they murder the male chicks within days of being alive because they don't lay any eggs.
Right.
Did you know that that was the standard practice?
No.
So the way they kill them is they usually gas them alive, or they throw them through a grinder, which is akin to you putting chicks in a blender and turning it on every time you eat eggs. That's the reality.
Let's go shopping.
So I know that you may not want to hear this stuff, but it's the truth.
I know, it's my farm store to say how chickens are bred.
Oh, you do know. So you know that I'm telling the truth?
From the 50s, yeah, they were there.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Well, look, it's in your best interest to look into this because it is also better for your health to live vegan. If you can live a life healthy and happy without harming animals, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I
So
agree.
on the back, there's a website which shows you all of the information that you can look into, documentaries you can watch, and then you can just make an informed choice on what you'd like to do.
Okay, yep.
Okay?
All right, then great. Thank
Take care.
you.
Well, we've got Joey Carstrong.
By James Cameron, and we got involved. They've been all over the world filming all the top athletes, world leading scientists. There's even special ops soldiers that they feed vegan nutrition to, and it's going to show all the science. Not only is it viable for an athlete, but actually this is optimal. And here's why.
So you just read the back.
Right, there's stuff, but I just relearning how to cook everything.
Whole foods, beans, rice, lentils, peas, pasta, broccoli, those things are healthy.
Yeah.
I would say they're healthy. They don't have foods with fat and saturated fat, animal protein, cortisol, adrenaline. You know, when animals are suffering and they die, cortisol and adrenaline, we take that in. They're the same hormones that we produce when we suffer. We're eating that suffering.
Okay, well let me explain. The reason why I think that is because I wouldn't want someone to humanely murder me. I wouldn't want someone to kill me in any way.
They're not murdering you for eating you, are they?
What if they were? What if they were? Would that make it right?
It's crazy. I mean, we've eaten cows, pigs, chickens for thousands of years.
Countless.
I know, but we wouldn't kill you to eat you, would we?
Well, some people would. There's certain, you don't believe in cannibalism. There's certain humans that are cannibals, but the difference is this. It doesn't matter whether you're killing them and eating them. You could have eaten something else. You didn't need to kill an animal to get food. And I'm a perfect example of that. I haven't eaten animal products in 4 years.
What's up?
Someone just needed to go, and
To come out of the...
I've already been in the queue for a while.
Okay, so we'll find someone else to swap with you.
Yeah.
Are there more people over at the table?
Laura.
Sorry?
Swap with Laura.
Yeah.
Just need someone to
swap with you? Yeah? Okay. Could you mind just staying in the cube while I find somebody? I'll find somebody to swap with you as soon as possible. I've actually got someone just over there, so let me just go grab them and I'll come back, okay? Hench making them cube gains.
Oh yeah. I'm going to get a tight butt.
There you go. Can you just take one step back? There you go, that's good. You know all about form?
Oh yeah.
Let me
I'm
just...
even pulling my TVA in.
Thank you. Alright, so I found someone to swap with you. Okay, so just, a little shuffle back. I'll get you to come forward a little bit. Yep, and then I'll get you, and then just slightly, yep. Are you guys good like that? Okay. Just a tiny shuffle back.
I'll leave you with one thing to consider. This is the biggest question that I ask myself. So I'll just leave you with one question to go and ponder. Is that okay? Okay, so the question that I asked myself was, if we can live and thrive without harming and killing animals. This is it. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? That's it. You don't have to agree.
Wait, because they're there for us to eat.
Okay, just ask yourself that question.
I'm not.
Okay, it's ballsy.
Oh, thank you, Jay.
Oh,
You
that's
came to my
okay.
rescue.
No, no
He was
worries.
like, bullshit.
Yeah,
Good effort, man. Yeah, good effort.
Oh yeah.
I think, you know, he's probably just at that age where having to consider that what he's been doing his whole life is immoral is just too much.
I don't think he cared if it was immoral or not. I just think he was like, I don't give a shit, and you're not taking my steak away from me. I don't think he cared if it was moral or not. He seemed like the most moral guy. Yeah, I think he may have been maybe a little, I don't know, something going on.
Did you used to tape anything?
Huh? Yeah, well, I did record some of it. I don't know, I thought maybe it was being recorded already. But
Nah, it wasn't. He didn't want to be, which was fine. Like,
I got a bit of it, just a tiny bit.
yeah, sweet. That's it's kind of a pointless one anyway.
Yeah.
I wouldn't probably chuck that up.
Yeah, you definitely did your best. I don't think anybody in the world could have done a better job than like trying to get through to him, you know?
Oh man, who knows?
Some people are just no hope.
He was
Yeah,
quite
that's right.
scary.
That's right.
He was quite
Yeah, he was
scary.
very aggressive towards you.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Towards you?
He didn't. Yeah, exactly.
Another lady from the local
Hi,
newspaper.
I'm from the Norwich Evening News. How are you?
I'm very well, how are you? What's your name?
Courtney.
Courtney, I'm Paul.
I was just wondering if you tell me a bit about what's going on.
Sure, well, we're running this demonstration.
I've not got a notebook. Do you mind if I just kind of record?
Record it, yeah, for sure.
Where's my voice there?
Oh, cool.
Hello.
Yeah, sweet. Hey,
Hi,
how are you?
nice to meet you. I'm good. I'm
That's
Courtney.
Courtney. Pleasure to meet you, Courtney. You're from the newspaper.
Yeah, the Norwich Evening News and Eastern Daily.
We're just cruising.
Okay,
Oh,
so
were you just cruising past, or?
Yeah, I just walked past and thought I'd see what was going on.
hey, sorry, what was your name? Ross. Are you game to jump into the cube?
Yeah.
Okay, so just in the front middle, or the other side in the middle? Cool.
Oh, here, you hook it up then, bro.
Yeah. So what we're doing today is we're showing the realities of meat, dairy and egg production, even in free-range, organic and RSPCA approved situations. So a lot of these products have the humane stamp on them or the free-range organic stamp on them, but most people don't realize that these kinds of labels are not designed to make the animals feel better, they're designed to make the consumers feel better about buying those products. So we're showing people the reality of these products because these industries wouldn't want you to see these images. And so we're here to show these images because we're spreading the vegan message. We're all vegan here, showing that it's not only easy to be vegan, but it's beneficial to be vegan for your health, for the environment, and of course the animals number one. So we're here asking people very simple questions like if you can live a life that's healthy and happy without harming animals, why wouldn't you? True?
Very true.
So most people don't realize how easy, how delicious and how affordable it is to be vegan. Right here we have fruits and vegetables.
Yeah.
There's a vegan restaurant called the Vegan Diner right there. We provide a resource card to those who we have a chat with, and this shows people all of the information that they would ever need to go and to stay vegan. Okay, so resources, a 22-day program which supports you for 22 days that's free of charge. There's must-sees, so documentaries to watch and speeches and things to watch on YouTube that are all free. And then there's books to read if you're into that.
Okay.
So it just shows people the realities of meat, dairy and egg production and the consumption of meat, dairy and eggs. Also honey and other animal exploitative products and services and things like that. So have you ever considered being vegan yourself?
I haven't actually.
That's totally
I'm
understandable.
totally obsessed with cheese, but
So
in terms
are
of
many
meat,
vegans.
I've definitely considered being vegetarian before.
You have?
So maybe it's something I should consider.
Okay, so two things I want to say about cheese.
Yeah.
Number one, vegans have cheese. We have vegan cheese, and it's so damn good. We make it out of cashews, macadamia, Brazil nuts, everything you can imagine. We have it. Okay. So it's not a world of restriction. It's not a world of restriction or limitation. You're actually entering into a world of abundance when you become vegan. So we just want people to know what they're missing out on. You know. The other thing I want to say about dairy, which is breast milk from a cow, which is what it really should be called, but they call it dairy because we like to play these games where we hide the reality of things with these these names. Okay, so the reality of dairy is that it contains a protein called casein. When you consume casein, it sorry, I'm choking. Okay, so the other thing I want to say about dairy or cheese is that it contains casomorphines. Okay, caso for casein, which is the protein, and morphine, which is quite literally, it acts like morphine in the body. And so it's like an opiate in the body. Now it was designed by nature for the baby to feel good so that they can come back to the mother and drink more of the breast milk. It's also there as a bonding mechanism between mother and calf. So when we consume it, that's okay, when we consume it, we then feel good and it sort of gives us that kick, and then that's why you might find it hard to get off cheese on a biological level, but you need to know that you've been tricked into this, and you need to know that you're literally addicted. I don't say that as a metaphor, literally addicted to cheese. But I want you to understand that, like, no matter how much it is of an inconvenience for us to come off cheese, it's never as inconvenient as it is for the animal and the dairy industry. Okay?
Yeah.
And you'll know that if you do some research on the website I've given you. But if you'd like to know what we're here for, that's what we're here for, to spread the vegan message and show people the truth.
And they said you guys are on YouTube, is that right?
We are on YouTube and we're on Facebook, and we have our website, which can all be found on our website. All the social media links are on there.
Brilliant. Fantastic. Thank you very much.
I sort of use that as an opportunity to educate you on what was going on.
It's really interesting. Am I right to quote you on some of those things?
Of course. Paul Bashir, Bashir, co-founder for the Voiceless.
So, did you ever feel like killing those animals, was that ever conflicting with you, or it was just part of the job?
You got to eat meat.
Do you though? Do you think you have to eat meat to be healthy?
I eat meat.
But do you have to?
Yeah.
Why?
I know where I work, it's done properly.
Do you think that there's a proper way to murder a human without it being a problem?
Would you like somebody to cut your throat?
What?
I'm saying for them.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm saying. If you
done them first, we lecture all.
Do you think though that just because they didn't feel it, that it doesn't matter that you took their life?
Farmers got to get living.
Yeah, but do they have to? You know, there's lots of ways that farmers can make money without hurting and killing animals. You know, like there's lots of foods that people eat. You don't need to eat foods that cause the harm towards innocent beings.
Animals were placed on this earth for you.
They were on the earth for me, but why is that a reason to kill them and hurt them?
Hit it, mate.
Yeah, not too bad. It's hard to get them to actually stop. Finally. I mean, it's
people.
Yeah, this is the first time I've ever done that. So,
oh, right, okay. Well, you don't need to get them to stop.
Okay.
We're waiting for people who do stop because we're
taking interest,
yeah,
and get them. Okay.
That's sort of how we do this. We approach it that way because we want to pre-qualify the public. We want those who are open-minded.
Yeah.
They're the ones who will stop.
Oh,
so no need to force them to stop. I don't understand. How many people over at that table over there?
What?
How many people do you think there are at that table over there? The AV table.
I can see. We keep getting away, but
because we do need more people to swap if we can.
what, at the table? Or
Yeah. Could you perhaps just run over there, and if there's people that are, if there's one person there, that's fine. But if there's any others, could you ask them to come over? Okay.
Got Mac just put in my studio at home, and until they bring out a new one of them, I'm sticking with the Hackintosh. I even wrote an email saying, update your fucking Mac.
Yeah, well,
not buy one.
Get back to you?
Not yet. Don't think they will.
What do you think of what you're watching, bro?
Don't agree with it, mate.
What do you think about it? How do you feel when you see it?
A bit pissed off.
Yeah, that's a pretty normal reaction.
Fish is this? They are tuna. And this is what they promote as sustainable and ethical and all of that nonsense. Have you ever considered being vegan?
I'm not never considered to be vegan, but I'm a diver, so I have enough respect to the animals not to kill them. Just they know to enjoy them, diving, watch them, and that's it.
Yeah, to let them live on their own terms.
Our motto of the diver is you go in, you watch, you make the pictures, and leave only your bubbles behind you.
That's right. So you're observing nature, but not interacting and killing nature. Okay. Hello.
Even it's not good to feed them because that way they can't get used to. So
Yes.
just to have to leave them how they are.
Just let them live on their own terms, right? Just like how we would like to live, right? Be left alone, live on our own terms. And how do you feel about animals in general being killed for us to eat?
About chicken, I don't feel sorry if I have to be honest with you, sir.
You don't feel sorry?
No, for chickens. For some other animals, yes. It depends.
Okay. And what about fish?
Fish, the way they're killing the fish is not nice.
Do you think there's a nice way to kill?
Good question.
No, there isn't, right? Because you wouldn't like to be killed in a nice way, would you?
Of course not.
Yeah. So even with chickens, I mean, chickens are no different to a dog or a cow or any other animal.
Yeah, I understand.
So do you think it's about whether you feel sorry for them or not, or whether it's right or wrong to kill when you don't need to?
You see, it's a really hard question. I don't think we all be able to become vegans.
We're all vegan.
You're small numbers.
There's millions of us on the planet.
The planet is billions, isn't
Yes,
it?
yes, that's
so
right.
If
But
we
it's the
all, if all we become vegans, we're gonna be not enough for all of them.
It's actually the other way around. Because when you eat meat, right, you have to understand the animals, they eat plants. So we have to feed them so many plants to keep them alive before we kill them and eat them. Whereas if we ate plants directly...
Some animals, they eat just the grass. They go in like cows. They eat like sheep, like cows, like a goat.
Some of them.
They eating just the grass. So
some of them, but most of them are in feedlots and we grow crops to feed them. And even if that was the case, you're using too much land space. It's not possible to feed everyone in this kind of a way. So you know how you said if you're vegan, we can't feed everybody. It's actually the other way around. If we're all not vegan, we can't feed everybody.
I don't know.
Every 3 seconds, someone's dying of starvation.
Yeah, that's true. Especially in Africa and Asia.
Yeah.
Some of the poor countries, that's true.
But 50% of the world's crops are currently put aside to feed to livestock. So we already have enough food to feed humans. But we're feeding it to animals so that people like you can eat animals instead of just eating plants directly.
Now you're picking up people like me. Come on, be more gentle with me.
I don't mean to judge you harshly. No, believe me, I know where you're coming from. I used to eat meat, dairy and eggs myself for 26 years and I never thought about it.
I think you see, I never thought about this as well. It's really hard, I believe.
Yeah.
Because if we become even, we have to turn in our past and see, the humans from long time they was eating animals. That's how they think. After that, they find out the crops, they find out other cultures, so the potatoes and all that kind of things. Before that was all the animals. Maybe you just don't know how to do it the other way. Maybe somebody like you guys, you need to show us. But
that's why we're here, brother.
Yeah, so it's gonna take you a long way. But anyway.
But are you open to seeing what the answer is? Because
me personal, I don't think I'll become a vegan. I don't want to disappoint you, but
well, it's not about disappointing me. It's about whether you're disappointing yourself. Because at the end of the day, you told me you like to respect nature and respect the world around you. But you also...
I'm trying as much I can.
Well, that's what veganism is. We're trying as much as we can when we live a life to avoid harming animals as best as we can.
I can't imagine my life without, meat.
Well, that's what I said. I know where you're coming from. But let me just tell you, I've never eaten more delicious food as a vegan.
Yeah.
So what you can do is look into it for yourself and maybe you can make an informed choice. If you can live a life healthy and happy without harming animals, why wouldn't you?
Maybe you're absolutely right. Maybe just I didn't find the way yet. The right way. You like him, huh? He talks so much, huh?
Adorable.
Thank you.
So maybe the new vegan is here.
Maybe.
And the inspiration will come from this one.
I'll try to teach him to be a good person as much I can, and all the rest is up to him. But anyway,
but if you
have a good cows, good cows. So
good cows. You're very funny.
Yeah, I mean, it's a.
You guys are fine. You guys are fine.
it's a good dish what you're doing, and I hope you change the mind of many people.
Well, it starts with you, my friend. What are you as an individual going to do as a result of this?
Maybe.
If you are against violence, unnecessary violence, and you want a world of respect and peace, veganism is the only way to live on this planet. It's also better for the environment, for your children. If you want a world for your children, look into how much animal agriculture is destroying our world. Would you be open to looking into it? I mean, at least you can make an informed choice after that.
I need to think maybe a little bit more, really a little bit more about all the things.
What have you got to lose, right?
You know what the people they scare more? For this what they don't understand. So because I don't understand this, I'm scared to live other way.
See, I'm glad that you recognize that. All fear is just not understanding. So I'll give you this card. Do some research, my man. I guarantee you it'll benefit you directly and your children. You have a lot to benefit from this. So do your research and you can make an informed choice. You're welcome.
Have a nice day.
You too, take care. See you, brother. Hey, mate.
Is this about being a vegetarian?
Vegan.
Vegan?
Yeah.
I want to stop eating meat completely.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, with vegetarian, because you would still consume dairy and eggs as a vegetarian, so that's why we promote vegan, because vegan is a lifestyle that seeks to exclude all animal exploitation to the best of our ability. It's not about being perfect, because you can't be in this world, but it's the least that we can do, not the best that we can do.
Yeah.
It's the least that we can do is to avoid animal exploitation and cruelty.
I'd like to start with the meat element first.
Okay. So,
stop eating meat, full stop.
So what do you think is hard about eggs and dairy to give up?
I drink a lot of milk.
Yeah?
Yeah, I eat a lot of cheese.
Eat a lot of cheese. So 2 things can I just tell you about
of course.
dairy? So the thing with dairy is, number one, dairy is like one of the worst things that you could consume in terms of health. Okay?
Yeah.
It's literally turns on cancer cells in your body. It also strips calcium from your bones, so it causes osteoporosis, not prevents
Really?
it. You'll learn this when you watch a documentary called What the Health, which is the latest and greatest in nutritional science. And I'll give you a card in just a moment where you can find that documentary, and it's free to watch on Netflix. So What the Health. The other thing I want to tell you about dairy is that not only is it designed for a baby cow and not for humans, right? Because you're an adult and you're a human, right? You're not a cow or you're not a baby.
Yeah, no other species has milk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know that, right?
Yeah, of course.
We're all conditioned to believe this is normal, natural, and necessary, but it's totally abnormal, unnatural, and unnecessary.
But you piss these guys off.
Well, they got no choice. We're operating within our legal rights.
You got that card?
Yeah, I'll give you that card, and you know, at least you can do is make an informed choice, right?
No, of course. I mean, like I said, first things first is I would knock the meat on the head.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. I mean, in my belief, I'm a Hindu.
Yep.
I strongly disbelieve in meat. And,
any violence, right?
Of course.
Peace is the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
And respect.
100%.
And then how are we respecting animals if we steal their milk away from them? We kill the males because they don't produce any milk.
Yeah.
And with the egg industry, they kill the males within days because they don't produce any eggs. So there's so much violence.
I'm just an idiot.
No, you're not an idiot, mate. No, you know what it is. If it goes into the background of your mind and not the forefront, then you end up just going along with what everyone else is doing.
Yeah.
And I understand completely because I used to eat meat, dairy, and eggs as well. But it took me to really just look into it to actually make that change.
Yeah.
But what you don't realize at this point, maybe, is that you actually have the most to benefit from this. Your health.
Yeah, of course.
You're lowering your impact and you're influencing people around you. And your conscience, you don't have to contribute to this violence anymore. And I eat, as a vegan, everything you eat, burgers, pizzas, pastas, ice creams, cookies, everything you eat, man. The only difference is we get coconut ice cream instead of the dairy ice cream.
It's not a big deal.
Right?
Yeah.
And instead of going for the milk, the cow's milk, you just go over here and you grab the almond milk, whatever your flavor is. We have milks on the shelf now that you can literally try 10 and still not get through them all.
Yeah. I actually don't mind almond milk, it's actually right.
There you go.
Yeah, I quite like it.
And there's some milks, they mix really well with coffee if you get into that, and there's something for everything. Burgers, you can have a lentil patty or a black bean patty or a mushroom patty, the list goes on. Instead of having someone's dead body, and I know that you know that meat's wrong and you're happy to start with that.
I hate that whole thing, but I guess it's just so easy and readily available to pick up and eat. Like, if someone says to you, right, well, what do you want to eat? You just look at the menu, oh yeah, that'll do.
But that's the thing, what world do we want to live in? Your vote is your dollar. every dollar you spend is a vote for what you believe in, and what kind of a future do we want to create. This is the biggest revolution happening on the planet at the moment, the fastest growing, the vegan revolution. So we have to create a world of not only kindness and respect for animals, but also for humans. Did you know that every 3 seconds a human dies of starvation? And we already have enough food to feed those humans, but we feed them to animals instead before we eat them. In the dairy industry, in the egg industry, they all eat plants. They never miss a meal because all of 50% of the world's crops are put aside to feed them. So that means we have plenty of food already to feed the hungry in this world. So it's a revolution for humanity. It's a revolution.
Species, mate. That's what we are.
Well, we can be the difference, right? Change comes from us as individuals.
Have a look.
Look into it, my man.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you, man. Take care. This is crazy. Awesome event so far. Very successful interactions today. Lots of people making the connection, being open and receptive. Hello. Well, we're showing the realities of meat, dairy and egg production, even in free range, organic and RSPCA approved.
Oh, right, yeah.
Have you guys ever seen those products that's stamped with the humane? Do you guys tend to sort of gravitate towards those products, or do you not really?
Yeah, I mean, we're not too fast.
Not too fast. Well, this is why we're here. We're showing people the truth of what really happens in these industries, and these industries would not want you to see these images, of course.
I've actually watched all this on YouTube before.
You have?
Yeah.
How did it make you feel, man?
It is rank.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, it is rank, but you know.
But you didn't feel compelled to make any differences with, and I completely understand that. We've been conditioned to live this way our whole lives, right? I eat meat, dairy and eggs for 26 years. In terms of the cruelty, I mean, are you guys for animal cruelty or against animal cruelty?
Obviously against it, but I mean, then again, you know, it's obviously how the trade is and everything in each industry. You know, it's nothing different.
Do you think there's a humane way to kill animals?
Not necessarily, no.
No.
There's no humane way to kill an animal.
Yeah, because there's no humane way to kill a human either, right?
No, exactly.
So the same rules should apply, right?
Yeah. No, that's right. That's right.
So it's inhumane at the core.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you guys acknowledge that.
Yeah. No,
and with you guys are against animal cruelty. Do you understand that when you pay for animal products, you're directly supporting it?
Supporting, yeah, I know.
You're the one paying the slaughterhouse workers?
Yeah.
You're basically saying, yes, please, more of this?
Yeah. That is right, isn't it? Yeah, you are right. That's right.
So, if you could live a life healthy and happy without harming animals, why wouldn't you?
Well, it tastes good, you know. I know it sounds horrible.
But does it taste good?
Yeah.
What, do you think flesh actually tastes good? Because I bet you that you actually despise the true taste of flesh, though. It has to be cooked, number one.
Yeah,
no other animal needs to do that. Okay? It also is marinated and spiced and breaded, and you have to smoke it and you boil it and fry it and do something to it to make it palatable. So I think that if I was to kill a chicken in front of you right now and say, here you go, eat it raw, you'd be like, you gotta be kidding me. You gotta do something to it before it's palatable. Put it in between a burger patty with lettuce, pickles, onions, tomato. Do something to it, right?
Yeah.
So you guys don't actually like meat.
Well,
but we've been conditioned.
Yeah. But it's like, what do sort of vegans, what would they obviously have to marinate everything as well. They'd have to.
Well, the thing is, like I was saying, everything is actually prepared with plants. When think about it. Right? Spices, plants. Sauces, marinades, plants. Right? When you smoke something, that's plants. Okay, all of these things come from plants. So we do the same thing, but instead of someone's dead body in a burger, right? We have a mushroom, or we have a lentil patty, or a black bean patty. The list goes on. You can make. It's a word of abundance when you go vegan. It's not the other way around. You might think it's a word of limitation or restriction. It's actually completely the opposite. As a vegan, I eat everything that you currently eat. Burgers, pizzas, pastas, ice creams, cookies, cakes, everything that you eat. The only difference is, instead of getting the dairy ice cream, which is breast milk from a cow designed for a baby cow, not for humans, and that has its own health implications, we go and we get coconut milk. It's really not that hard of a choice. Instead of cow's milk, it's actually better. I mean, cashew milk is my favorite, or almond milk. These things are delicious. Yeah. Try them out, man. Try them out. See what you think about these. Yeah. I mean, think about it. Cashew milk. How delicious does that sound? And then think about cow breast milk.
Yeah, I know. It does sound
Titty
shitty.
juice, titty juice from a cow. How does that sound palatable?
I know.
Compared to
Yeah,
cashew
right,
milk,
right,
cashew milk sounds awesome. I want to eat cashew milk. So this, you got to understand, this a lot of this has been conditioned into us, and it's no fault of your own. It's these industries and our faculties of education and our society.
Brought up as well, really. Like what brings you into it.
That's it. We're all brought up the same way though, and these industries have the most to benefit from it because they profit from it. You know, so it's a boycott when you become vegan. You're creating a world of respect and peace for other living beings on this planet because we're not the only ones that exist. We're one of like 5 million species, something like that. So why do we get free reign over every other species and control other living beings? Where do we get off doing that? You know? And if you guys are against animal cruelty, the only way to live in alignment with those values is to be vegan.
The thing is, if a lot of us turn vegan, is that ever going to actually change though? Other people, like considering the amount of, if you look at the amount of people that are currently sort of still eating the meat, even like just the percentage.
Okay, so
that's never going to change.
let me put it to you like this. In the case of other injustices on the planet, you could say the same thing, right? So let's just look at racism, for example. Okay, so if you were to say racism will never end, would that change you from becoming a non-racist? Because you're morally opposed to it, right? So you're like, I don't care what the world's going to do, I'm just going to stop it because I don't want to participate in that shit. What you don't realize also is how powerful we are as individuals, the amount of influence that we have. I'm speaking to you today. You guys might consider this seriously after this conversation. Look into it, become informed, and make a choice according to your information. So I'm making a difference, and I'm a vegan.
You are.
So do you realize what I'm saying?
That's good. Yeah, I see what exactly.
All injustices won't end completely, perhaps. But this needs to. All evil.
But you are helping.
All evil can't last
doing what you
forever.
can.
I mean, it took 400 years to end slavery in America against black people, and then another 100 years to end segregation. It takes a long time, but it does happen. It does end.
Eventually it does. Yeah. No, you're right.
So you're making a difference in your own life. If you're a vegan, 1,000 animals a year you spare as a vegan. 1,000 animals. That's how much of a difference you make.
Oh yeah.
And then that's 2,000 if you both go vegan. So that's how many. Think about that. Think about a dog, right? Now think 1,000 dogs.
Yeah, I know exactly.
That's how many animals you're sparing every year.
Yeah, that does put it into context.
So you got to understand how powerful your choices are, and every dollar you spend is a vote for what you believe in, for the future you want to create in this world.
It is right.
So believe me, it's not a word of restriction. You guys are going to eat delicious food as vegans, and no matter how inconvenient it is, it's never as inconvenient as it is for the animals. So it's something to consider. I'll give you guys some information because it's raining. And thanks for stopping and having a chat.
Thank you very much.
No worries. Everything you need is on that website. You take care.
Okay,
Cheers.